Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing great today. Today we're going to talk about Cloud Storage Security's antivirus solution. Once you deploy, it's pretty simple to do so through AWS Marketplace. You simply subscribe and then you deploy via either AWS CloudFormation or Terraform. It takes about 15 minutes start to finish for most deployments, and once you do so, you're actually going to land here. And this is our sign-in page. We support all major identity providers, AWS, Azure AD, Okta, whatever it might be, or you can use an existing Cognito user pool. I'm going to sign right in here, and it's going to land us at the dashboard. And what I want to call out here, what we think are our most important charts, are the malware found last week, as you can see right here, and the storage protection status by cloud provider. And even though a lot of these are mostly self-explanatory, I do want to call out the fact that the malware found is actually demonstrating that you've configured it correctly, it is working, it is discovering malware in your cloud environment, and the storage protection status. Over here, we preach that everything needs to have malware scanning on it. Your local machines have malware protection, your networks, your endpoints, whatever it might be. So why don't you have it in the cloud? And why don't you have it applied to every single bucket? So we make it easy for you to figure out, okay, what is my protection status at a very high level at least? Let's talk about setting up malware scanning. Over here on the bucket protection page, once you deploy, we're going to ingest all your buckets. We're going to list them all here for you. You can search at the top here, whatever that might be, and you can apply protection as easy as simply clicking this shield here. And that'll turn on real-time antivirus protection. Anytime a new file is dropped into that bucket, we will go ahead and we will scan it for malware according to your user preferences. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Very similar for EBS volumes, EFS, FSX, and especially Azure and GCP, the S3 equivalents, so Azure Blob and Google Cloud Storage. What I want to call out here is for a lot of organizations who might have some sort of scheduled scanning requirement, it's really easy to put together a schedule here. So let's go to create schedule. Let's select a couple of buckets, for example. You can also combine them with EFS volumes, EBS volumes, whatever it might be. Let's go over to the schedule here, create a name. We'll select our scan period. Okay, monthly. We'll do it on the last day of the month at midnight universal time. And then you click save. All of the files in those buckets, as I have it configured here, will be scanned on the last day of the month at midnight universal time. You can also change it to have only new files since schedule creation scan, so you're not rescanning files, even though we do give our customers the ability to go ahead and rescan as many times as possible. You can also scan all files on first or the next run to kind of set a baseline. Another thing I want to call out are the malware findings here. So this is a very important page. This is going to show you all of the malicious files, all of the errors that you might encounter. So you can actually go through here and you can figure out, okay, what malware scanning engine actually detected this piece of malicious code? Where was it? What account was it in? And you can actually go ahead and run a static or dynamic analysis on this. Now, this is probably a topic, oops, should go to all time here. Probably a topic for a little bit longer video, but if you go to dynamic analysis here, it'll actually send the file off. It's the only time when a file will actually leave your account. It'll send it off to a dedicated slice of the Sophos Cloud Sandbox, where it will detonate it. It'll give you some information, the IP addresses that the malicious file is attempting to connect to, as well as actually what it's actually doing on the system level. So super interesting if you have forensics or further investigation required either internally or externally on any pieces of malware that you actually catch. Another thing I want to call out here is our results page. And this is super important, mostly because there's not much here other than results. And it's super easy. You can check through, okay, this is proof of scanning. On 513, we scanned 9 gigabytes. This is the amount of objects, clean, and infected found. And you can actually change this time window to whatever is best for you. We also make it very easy just to export these to CSV. So to provide proof of scanning for either internal or external auditors, it's really important that we have that. The final thing that I want to call out in this very short demo is down here in the scan settings. And a lot of organizations and a lot of other malware scanning solutions will basically have you create some sort of a third party or a Lambda function to quarantine files. We make it super easy to kind of manage your file handling. So you can choose the action here. So quarantine, keep, or delete. For the purposes of this, we'll do quarantine. We'll choose what type of results to quarantine. So if you'd like to also quarantine unscannable or error, as long as infected, you can go ahead and do that. And then all you have to do is select the bucket that you'd like them to be quarantined in. And it's as easy as that. We do offer 3 different malware scanning engines: CSS Secure, which is an open source engine, CSS Premium, as well as the Sophos engine. So by having all 3 malware scanning engines going after the same file and actually scanning the same file at once, we can get really, really close to 99.9999 or 5 nines of accuracy, so that you make sure that there are as little false positives or false negatives as possible. One more thing, our AWS integrations page. So aside from AWS integrations, we have a bunch of APIs that you can use to push any of this finding data outside of the Cloud Storage Security Console to maybe something like Splunk or a different SIM, maybe ServiceNow, whatever it might be. But I do want to call out Security Hub. And so if your organization uses Security Hub as a SIM, it's really easy to actually go ahead and send those infected findings there. From there, you can actually move them into CloudTrail Lake, wherever you kind of centralize your security logs, to make sure that you're only looking in one place to see all of your security findings. With that being said, thank you everyone very much for tuning in today. And let us know if you have any questions, sales@cloudstoragesec.com, or you can get started with a free trial for 30 days. We give you 100 gigabytes of data to start baselining. You can get started in 50 minutes or less from AWS Marketplace. Link below. Thank you very much, everyone.